Alright, jumping straight into Finchinator versus Vileman. This is losers bracket round 2. Finch is on top, Viles on the bottom. Thief, Lovely Kiss is coming out from Nidoking. Snorlax can curse, double edge, switch out, body slam, whatever. Depends on if it is sleep talk. If it's sleep talk, then it's probably safe to stay in, though getting a Thief on Snorlax is really good. So we very likely could see a Zapdos switch here. Maybe an Ice Beam. But Lovely Kiss's Thief is generally the move. Zapdos. Lovely Kiss misses. Which is not bad. Too bad, like, because sleeping into sleep talk Zapdos is not always the best. We see switch. So we see a predicted switch and a Lovely Kiss miss, so nothing doing on the HP Ice, yep. Tyranitar is not a good Thunder switching, guys. It takes like 40%. But, yeah. So, Vileman was predicting a switch out of Nidoking because Finch doesn't want to sleep into the Zapdos, but maybe he does and goes for it a second time. Kind of gets that turn free, except he misses too. So now Vileman's definitely going for an HP Ice and uses that as an opportunity to go to T-Tar, who takes it really well. Rock Slide really hurts here, but you can just Thunder away. Sometimes that happens because you only take 63, and Chip on T-Tar is really appreciated. Let's fix those dimensions. So, just some, get sleep talks, Thunder the bad roll. He was 66% chance to get a good sleep talk against Nidoking. He did not get it. Zapdos can come in and do that again later. Ice Beam, relax, no freeze. Okay, good. Here's the response. Curse, we see EQ. That's really gonna hurt. Do we see a roar or a screech? Koi comes in, that's not what you want to see. You want to see Zap there. Or something else. Yeah, just Rock Slide's in, knowing that he's going for spikes. Do we see a switch out of Surf? No, he just keeps on Rock Sliding. He does not like that Cloyster. Before he comes in. Go and check for Curse. Normal. Gengar comes in to block spin. Yeah, in this 1v1, they can both EQ, he can rapid spin. EQ hits both pretty hard, but the Golem has the ability to come in again, maybe boom on something. Gets 40 on Lax. Okay. Gengar rarely carries Fire Punch, so that's not usually a thing to be worried about. Fori sometimes carries HP Ghost for Gar. Thiefing the Fori, maybe predicting a switch, that's HP Ghost. Thunderbolting away. Yeah, Fori wins these 1v1s even though it's thieved. That's a nice double, knowing that he's not going to stay in loose Gengar. So the response to an HP Ghost could really be like anything. Could be from Golem, not Zapdos, because you don't want to get at the mercy of Sleep Talk. Could be Snorlax. Pretty much Gengar's a great double on anything here, because Golem's in range after spikes. Snorlax, I mean, like, it clicks EQ. You deal with that. Maybe you Destiny Bond it. And then Koi gets T-bolted, Zap gets Ice Punched. Or T-bolted. We see Espeon. I love Espeon. Espeon's a lot of fun. So it's a Growthion. It clicks Growth and then Psychic, and then sometimes Baton passes that Psychic, and the rest of the time it has like a hidden power to complement it. Hidden power Fire for like stuff like Fori and Steelix, or Hidden power Water for Tyranitar. In this matchup, unless it's Baton Pass, like gonna pass something to. Here's the thing: special attackers are pretty weakened, but so you're gonna want ideally like HP Water in this matchup. Oh, it's Growth, Morning Sun, Psychic +1. Sometimes Sub is thrown into. We see a Mean Look Gar trying to Mean Look probably the Lax. Yeah, because Gengar scares the Cloy out, and Lax is the would be the response. Maybe Golem, but you just get Ice Punch afterwards after switching into T-Bolt. Espeon really scares Gengar a lot of the time, but Tyranitar is a good response. We see a Growth, and he Psychics into the Tar. It's entirely possible he just doesn't have a move against this Tar. Or he can do that. Growth's like +1 Psychics is gonna do about 35, just switches out. If this is EQ, Golem might be in range. That's a nice pick. He really wants to keep his spikes up, and so, but Vileman wants to get him off, right? But instead of, Finch is predicting either a Roar or Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin is the ideal here. EQ would be disastrous. That you just lose your Gar. But you're probably not EQing into +1 Lax. It could just keep boosting you. So there he goes for, I don't know about the debone, because Golem's gotta be a little scared of Ice Punch or HP Water. And like Mean Look, Parasong, Protect, Destiny Bond is something you can run, but there's also Ice Punch can get thrown in on that set, on the Mean Look Gar, and that obviously scares out the Golem. So we see a Destiny Bond into an Espeon switch. Espeon can probably Growth or HP Water here. Do we see a second Growth? Do we see a Hidden Power Water? Do we see... Are you scouting Hidden Power? Are you scouting a switch? That looks like Water. Psychics can do about 35, and if he chooses to take it, he's not choosing to take this 1v1. Double Edge is not a 2-hit KO. He'd probably EQ here. There's not an EQ switch in shown. Do we see it? No, he goes for the spin again. Do you really need these spikes off that bad? I mean, it'd be really nice. But, yeah, Psychic comes up close. See, it is Ice Punch. That freeze is pretty brutal. Goes into 4E. Is he gonna Rapid Spin? No, Hidden Power Ghosts. Surf looks kinda free here, except with Zap, could you boom? You could boom on the predicted Zap because you haven't shown an electric. So we see Zapper Raikou that's coming in right there because nothing wants to take that Surf. Other than maybe Lax, but then you boom on Lax. This Curse EQ Lax is looking really scary. Do you see a Curse or a Rest or okay? Yeah, he was into a KO range. Before he comes in, do we see a Boom and switch to Cloyster? On a spin? Yeah. Cloyster's a good middle ground there because if he spins, you get the spikes and while threatening Surf. But if he booms, then you keep your spikes and you don't lose them on. And if he goes for a crazy HP Ghost and trying to nail that Gengar, you don't lose your Gar. Which is how do we see Surf or spikes? Okay. He gets his Gar in just in the nick of time and heals it up. Destiny Bond on Surf. That's fair enough. Just gets the Gar out of his face. Did we see a Sleep Talk Rest or a Sleep Talk HP Ice? You're going for it. If you lose this like that, then you give him the ability to sleep something else, which is interesting. Get a Boom? Take Hypnosis? Okay, that's interesting. Because you know King lives that. So maybe he was scared of Hypnosis or Boom and just sacking. You boom on the Tar, you get that out of the way, but now your Espeon's a little scarier, but it's a frozen. Nidoking has a lovely Kiss Pressure. And you're letting this Lax boost up. It's probably Sleep Talk here. maybe. It's just been played like it's Sleep Talk. And if it is favored to win the 1v1. Double edges. Yep, we're seeing the cursing to +5. It is optimal to curse to +5, not +6, because at +5 your attack's as high as it's gonna go on Snorlax. And then the 6th curse only boosts your defense a tiny bit, because stats cap at 999. So go to +5, people. Yep, that's where you should stop. See, just 25% double edge. That typical edge is gonna do 30-40. Yeah, that hurts. You're out of range for another one. Just gonna curse yourself up. You should be taking about 30 something, 37 to 41. If my head calcs are correct. You have to rest here. Now he can rest, or he can just double edge again. Yeah, now you rest, or you... Depends on if you want to take this trade. You rest here if you think you're going to be able to beat this Lax at a later opportunity with higher than 35% health. But at this position, I don't think you really need to do that, because once Espeon suddenly unfreezes, which it could, then it would take the KO on you, and then it might just take the game. But, you know, you're killing Golem. Golem's not killing you without booming. So I think you do go for double edge here at rest, yeah. 27 with after lefties, yeah, no. Espeon would need to crit that. But it is possible. If it crits it, then it's game. The game can, then it's a game again. Or even you just boom, right? Don't you go to Golem, you explode, and then, you get a chance to send in your SP, and then Espeon, it's odds, it's just odds. Maybe you do go for the Espeon on freeze crit, but regardless, there was a world that Vileman had an out. That one's fine. Alright. Well, let's get into game 2. Ready, set, go. Lax on Lax is a million things and nothing that can be said here. We can see curses, we can see double edges, we can see body slams. We could even see an ice beam, who knows. We could see a lovely kiss. That's a more probable option. Double edge. Do we see another double edge? Curse. 2 standard moves. The early double edge is going to make it easier to beat down in phase, what I was thinking. There's a lovely kiss. But no, this is going to be a stall team, so you don't really need to beat down Snorlax to phase it out. You can just beat down, force a rest, then get your phaser in for free. But no, you can just go to Skarm, except your Skarm got slept. Sleep Talk Skarm is a thing. It is not that common. He's just cursing away. Is it going to be just double edge rest? Is it going to be... Because sleeping up to 6 turns, this could get a little dicey pretty quick. But if it's mono double edge, do we see an electric, a ghost just completely wall this? He's going for the prediction that it's just rest in the last slot, but it could be another move, but probably not. Ice Punching away is safe. It's just like Ice Punch is a generally a good move to hit Snorlax with, because you're not doing tons more with Thunderbolt or Thunder, and Ice Punch gives you free freeze odds. We're cursing up. It's entirely possible he has EQ, or he's just going for a hard bluff and saying, Finch, you're gonna switch out. But that just happens because you just gave him only 3, but it happens. Yeah, now you try and unfreeze your Lax. Lax can try and unfreeze itself pretty well on Gengar, because it's only taking a net like 6 or 7% every turn, and you have a 10% chance on freeze. going for Thunderbolts. That's probably better. You, well, very well could have been doing that from a couple turns ago, because you can't freeze anything else with Freeze Claws active. If you're the Snorlax, maybe you just rest here. No, he is EQ. But yeah, now it's so low that it's basically dead. And Finch is like, wow. So yeah, Snorlax is just sackable at this point, or you can try and double it in a ton of times. So let's go back to this. Thunderbolt, just EQ. That crit's pretty big, because otherwise he would have been able to, like, his Lax would be in good enough shape to take another special hit, and definitely a physical hit, and then slam something with Double Edge. Cloyster comes in. Zapdos, we see a Surf Toxic. Okay, Surf just to keep him honest and prevent a Double Edge from being launched. But Surf into Zapdos means you don't have spikes up, and this Snorlax can come back in, which Zapdos is saying, hey, switch to your Lax or your Electric check. So he does double to Lax, as we saw, which gives us lefties. So he's 6% up. That's a rounding thing. He's really just 6.25% up. He does it again, showing another Electric. Raikou on Raikou stuff. Probably Sleep Talk on both. That is the best set. But yeah, now his Lax is continually getting leftied, so it might be useful later in the game. And we see a Thunder landing into Cloyster. Do we see a Para? That's big. Thunder into Double Edge is a kill. I'm 90% sure on that. But yeah, that's a pretty big deal to get the Thunder full Para. This could just completely deny spikes from Vileman's end. We see a Golem. Another Cloy Golem action. Just EQs. We see like Surf. Oh, I'm really looking for that all-out attacking Lax to pop up, but it does not fit on this team. It could be 2 attacks Curse. It could be Rest Talk. But he's just going for it. So, the reasoning behind Golem switching out after taking that Double Edge is Lax is clearly walled here because it's not going to have a third attack. That would be very surprising on this type of stall team. So it can't hit this Golem. Therefore, he's going to switch out to his Skarmory. And Finch reads that nicely and then just Double Edges the Raikou, which is Thunderbolt, which is interesting. Certainly very nice against Vappy. Missing too many Thunders against Vappy is just really depressing. I'm going to see him a Champ in the last slot, which is pretty scary here. Cloy takes a couple. Do we see Spikes? So Toxic. Okay. Cross Chop is not a kill. Cloy lives like any one physical hit, just booms. Yeah. Cloy really just serves to click boom once in this game. That is in power ice damage. So Golem is not switching in. Yeah, so. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, if he's Thunder, he doesn't click Thunder into the Chant. If he's not, he might click T-Bolt. But he unnecessarily risks his Golem. I think you do go Snorlax there because it's not particularly useful. There is the enemy Lax that doesn't have Curse. But, like, Skarmory is still a pain. And your Golem is a huge stopgap to the enemy Lax making progress, which it does quite handily against your team. Yeah, just some free HP Ice play in that turn. Yeah, in the chat, Vileman's being called a noob for that play, for switching Golem in on the clear HP Ice, because, like, Why do you not HP Ice there? It's everything except Cloy and Lax better, but 2 KOs when it needs to. So we're just seeing some general switches. It is Thunderbolt, but the default assumption, even on some stall teams, is Thunder. But you can infer Thunderbolt because Thunderbolts. I mean Star. Because of the stall team. Yeah, so in the end, I don't know what let me think. Let's think about this last. Normal boost and phaser. Fire Lax check. We do not see a spinner. Could be Starmie. But also, if it's Starmie, then why is your response to Machamp Cloy? Could be a spinless stall team. Maybe. Could be like a 4-y, maybe. Because you have your structure, you have your spikes, you have your Fire Lax check, you have your electric check. You have your Skarmory. Just double edges into it. That Koi was not doing much after it got nailed by that Thunder. Golem here is pressuring a Boom on this Lax, but it can just switch into Skarmory, but he can just roar and get lefties, or just EQ and then farm lefties on the Skarm. You can even just Rapid Spin here, which is, yeah, this Lax is not hurting him, but double edges are gonna take, like, it's not, it's so low that double edge is a threat. Rapid Spin. So you could just Boom. Like, it's the 50-50. If he's going to Skarm to predicting Boom, you want a Rapid Spin. If he's not, you probably want a Boom, because with your Golem so low, yeah, within double edge range, this Snorlax forces progress like nothing else. But also, you do have Machamp as a stopgap to it. But, like, yeah, he's gonna double edge here because Machamp dies to double edge. He takes like 40 something, and Lax lives the cross chop. So that's an interesting move. If you're gonna do that, I don't know. Maybe you go to your own Lax. It's hard. Maybe you just go to that pro straight off, because you've traded 6% on your Machamp for 42 on your Zapdos. Now you're just in rest loops, and he can double edge to his heart's content. Yeah, getting his Golem HP Iced was probably the most pivotal turn. See, now you need to Sleep Talk Rest. You don't. You get the worst rule. You go Machamp here, because now he's in range-ish. You just cross chop. Hopefully you get a crit. That's wonderful for you. Here's the thing. Okay, yeah, you can do it. That's nice. So it is the spinner. Golem. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Why was I thinking Starmie? Cloy Golem. We're seeing lots of Cloy Golem this game. These few games. It's a good pair. Yeah. EQ. No need to risk cross chop accuracy. No need to get feisty cursing. It lives Thunderbolt. I think you can. Yeah. So you cross chop here, because it does more damage. So, Finch's reasoning behind switching out of Raikou into Golem was thinking that Vileman would go to Raikou. But instead, he just EQ'd, because you take the kill on Raikou, because whatever's the last can't be a better wall to Raikou than Raikou. Though Rest Sleep Talk Lax is debatably a better wall to Thunderbolt Raikou. And so he wants to take it out, but Finch is like, well, you have an easy response, you need to take damage on your Machamp. Maybe he thought it would kill. Maybe he thought his Thunderbolt kills on Machamp so that Vileman would switch. But regardless, we get in this arrangement, so right there, he bluffed. Well, it might be a bluff. The Raikou on Skarmory is saying, you're gonna switch out here, you're gonna go to your Raikou or your Golem. because I can just sleep, or your blacks probably lacks Raikou could go up to get straight HP ice from Sleep Talk, because he could just Sleep Talk Thunderbolt the Skarmory. Finch is like, well, this Skarmory, like, I can stay in and root, like, if it's Sleep Talk, it's a 33% chance I lose it, but 66 I don't. I'm just gonna try and wake the Skarm, so we get the same thing, except Skarm is woken up after Raikou's shifted out a couple back in. Is this a Sleep Talk Raikou? We don't know. And he gets his Machamp Drill Peck for trying to do the same thing again, which is now it's in range of everything, and the Skarmory outspeeds. Yeah, he's either Finch is just playing the odds or making some really aggressive reads. Now he switches out. Do we see a stray HP water or ice? That's water. Yeah, so since it's water, it's really a priority to get this Raikou out of the way if you're trying to go for your Raikou as the win con. Double Edge is a bajillion. Even though it says 49, the Raikous could still be in range because showdown rounding. Or is it like you can also roll above 48? So we see Double Edge just kill this Lax, and that's probably the game. You go to Machamp, yay. Hope for a cross shop crit. Do you get it? You do. He's been getting all the cross shop crits. You rest. So hold on. How is there a way for Vileman to win this? He's going to Skarm here. Presuming you get the crit. Skarmory is going to be really low. Not dead. The Skarm has the choice of Drill Pecking. It could just Drill Peck into Raikou, which would be bad. See, it's just depending on what you think Finch will do. Because if he rests, what you do is you stay in and cross chop a couple more times. Right here. Skarm outspeeds. It can Drill Peck. So, do you cross chop again here? But no, you don't. No, he didn't. And that's a really hard move to make, because like Finch made some of those type moves earlier where he like didn't click spikes immediately. With Cloyster, he surfed the really low lax that switched into Raikou. I mean Zapdos. So judging based on earlier plays, you could just go for the Raikou and be like, he's gonna Drill Peck. But no. T-Bolt Raikou breaking Lax, especially the Sleep Taco Lax, is so ridiculously improbable. Do we see? You want to see Sleep Talk Thunder miss there. Now we hope for more cross chop crits. You can curse. Yeah. Well, if he stays in, you obviously want to cross chop. No, I think you always curse because then you live one Double Edge. Cross chop misses, which makes up for the amount of crits you got earlier. Misses again. That's pretty brutal. Yeah, that's actually really brutal. Because the champ can feasibly break through Skarm. It curses, and he gets a good double, and he doubles again, which he's getting health on his Mons, this is benefits. Goes for Rock Slide? Not wanting to burn cross chops, I guess. Yeah. Now you go for the cross chop crit, but that's not doing it. Okay, well now he goes Laxerku. Okay, do you curse or do you just Rock Slide? But now, so you have to keep forcing these, and then eventually Finch can Sleep Talk. Like, he can just Sleep Talk right now. You can just click Sleep Talk. You're not threatened. So Vileman needs to hope for a lot more of those Sleep Talk rolls. That Rock Slide crit is pretty big. The Skarm would have been in range forced to rest much sooner. And now you can start curse. Yeah, you double curse because you're at one cross chop remaining. Maybe you curse once more. You miss it, and that's game. You just don't break the Skarm anymore. You... Sure. Your crits are not doing anything, though.
Hello, Discover Card here to explain our cashback.
Alright, yeah. This game is effectively over. Yeah. Vileman forfeits knowing that he can't do any more than that. There was a lot of hacks that game. Cross-chop crits, cross-chop misses, the early Thunderbolt, which really, really mattered on that Snorlax. If that Snorlax has the additional 30-something, like, additional health, it is not pressured out by Cloister Surf. So it can just double edge and claim another kill. Or two, potentially. And, yeah. That was, but such is the game that we play. That is Finch and Vileman. Finch takes the game in 2, and Vileman is eliminated from the tour. Finch continues on in the loser's bracket run.